Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another VS Gaming First Division match between Clan Hi5 and Intense Gaming. Probably the first time streaming the First Division match in this third leg. It's going to be a quite interesting match between these two. One of these two teams is going to suffer their first loss in this competition in the third leg of the First Division, and well, we don't know who it is. It's going to be a heck of a game, that's for sure. And if we quickly look at the lineups between these two teams, from Intense, we've got Intense Magics, Intense Scythes, Intense Vitals, and Intense Fusions. Now, on the side from Hi5, we've got Loyal, Enigma, Reigns, and Avexo Flexo. So these two teams have not yet suffered a loss, but one of these two is going to have their first L on the trot. But yet again today with me is Edgy, and welcome Edgy.
Hello, I'm glad to be here again. Makes me really happy, and I hope it makes the stream viewers also happy.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to keep to the same people. You don't have two mixed emotions the whole time trying to work with new people. But as I said, this game is going to be huge. The team here is going to walk away with a W, and one's going to walk with away with an L.
Who do you
First
think's
L.
winning?
We'll get to that just now. But in the stream, if you've just joined us, you can drop your prediction into the chat. Who you think is going to come out on top between these two teams? We're gonna get to the maps quickly before we get this game underway, and then we'll talk about predictions. And there you see the maps in front of you. Now we're gonna have an Ardennes Forest hardpoint up first. Then we're gonna move along to an Ardennes Forest search and destroy. Our third map will then be a Flak Tower CTF. And then we're ending with two London Docks. So a London Docks hardpoint and then a London Docks search and destroy. Now, Edgar, if we look at Ardennes Forest, it's highly AR dominated, would you say?
Indeed, it really is. You can run two, maybe even three ARs if your second sub is also decent with a assault rifle. And you're going to see a lot of gunfights go towards ARs, and you're going to see the map control from those ARs. Basically, whoever wins the AR battles is going to give their team map control, and that's going to allow the subs to actually do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's very difficult if you don't have your ARs raining down sights, holding areas, for your SMG guy to run across and get into heal and get up and close to get the advantage, or be on the front foot. But we'll see who can do it. My prediction for this Ardennes Forest, I can see some of you predicting the first map's going to be 250 to 185 to Clan Hi5. I think Hi5 just came off a game against, I think it was Bravado, with the pickup being Keres. So they definitely warmed up. They're ready for this game. I'm going to give this to Hi5 250 to 168. Edgar, do you have the same picture that side?
No, I think Intense is going to win this.
Ooh.
250 to, let's say, 190. But I want a game 5.
We all want game 5s as we start up with Intense Sights. We'll see him running the STG, Advanced Rifling, Grip, and Reflex Sight. He's probably just going to chill here at barn area just to aim down. No one cross to the hill. 3 go down from Hi5. A great start from Intense.
Indeed, a great start for Intense. They now have map control. What they don't know is that there was a split spawn. Now number 3 Fusions noticed it, and he's dealing with it. 2 kills up on mid-map. He found that Hi5 were split spawning. They're spawning on the side of bridge where they spawned, and that's happening again. The spawn just flipped again, even though Intense is still having hill control. Now that hill control is over, and we'll see teams just rotating, and Intense has a rotation for now.
Yeah, we'll see Intense now get into heal. That's being Fusions. He's close to Strix, so he's going to look for one being Reigns. He's got one guy just coming through circle being Loyal. But Intense is really holding down their lanes quite well at the moment. The first heal we saw them break in. They had 3 kills on the opening kills, and they got in there and they didn't get broken. And this might just be the same story in this second hill.
As you say that, Hi5 just break into the hill and they have mid-map control. Number 8, Vexo was actually pushing into their spawn, which is a good play, because they all spawned there at the same time. Now we're going to see a bit of a contest for the hill, because this hill is actually one of the more contested hills. The more contested hill is the 4th hill, right here on East Road. But it seems to me like Hi5 just cleared the hill and they're now they should be working on the rotation as is Intense. You see player number 1 Magic switch to him as he's going through cabin trying to find Vexo up in bunker with help from Vitals.
Yeah, this is going to be crucial for the guys from Intense to get across as Magix picks up one. There's one more guy right there being Reigns. He's going to doesn't get the kill, but does get the help from his teammates. But look at Clan Hi5. If I jump on board with Vexo Flexo, look at the guys right at the back here. I don't think anyone expected him to come from behind, but he's going to get almost a team kill coming in there from Fusions. But Intense standing strong at the back there.
Yes, they are. They have got the spawn, and all they need to do now is hold the hill from middle and from cabin. As I said, Enigma gets a huge kill that allows him to at least contest the hill and help his teammates push up, and that's just what happened. There was a pinch through middle to get the spawns, and they also broke the hill to the front. Very well played by Hi5.
Now, if you're in the position that Hi5 is at the moment, would you just let them give up this 20 seconds to get ready for this East Road hill?
Definitely, definitely. Because you're going to keep spawning bunker when the hill rotates to East Road, to the 4th hill, and you do not want to have that spawn. At this moment in time, you want to already have cabin control, just like Sights is doing. He's just holding that cabin along with Fusion. Fusion gets taken down, Sights gets his trade, which means that Intense still has cabin control, which is very important. Yeah, the streak's coming to rain in now.
Yeah, big thing from Royal, as he did get his streaks while we were off him. He just uses his glide bomb there to get control. Vitals is in the hill causing some havoc. Smoke coming in, and the smoke strat is really a good thing on Ardennes Forest. Closes down range or certain areas that you can come across and cause some havoc in the hill.
Exactly, smokes are very useful on this map simply because if your ARs are not having a good time, well, you can make it easier for your subs just by using a smoke, because their ARs can't even see you, and you can just cross the areas that you wouldn't have been able to cross before.
Yeah, well, 15 seconds left in this East Road hill, and they're looking to get the rotation done. Magix does get that opening kill at the second or the first reset of hills. He gets taken out by a range by Loyal, but things looking very tight as expected. Clan Hi5 has that 14-point different lead. Loyal it is with 2 big kills coming in from his fighter pilot. Still has the artillery strike to work with, and things looking great for Hi5 at the moment.
Very well used streak. Sights was actually on streaks. He was 1 away from his artillery. Now we're seeing just gunfights around the hill. Intense players are trying to cross, but they keep getting shut down by number 8, Vexo, who has the cross to the hill. And so this is going to allow Hi5 to get at least 10 more seconds. And as we see, they have full map control. They have mid control. Royal's there holding mid. You have 2 players in the hill. Intense somehow manages to cross. Magix gets a huge 2-piece to at least contest the hill and have more time. And now we're seeing the rotation battles coming in. Royal is the only one here against 3 Intense players, and well, he's going to drop.
Well, in this position, you can see in your top right-hand side corner, the slaying power from both sides is very even at the moment, but Clan Hi5 has that 18-point or 19-point difference as they break in there with the artillery strike used by Loyal. A team kill coming in there by Enigma, but it's very, very close at the moment with the slaying department. As Magic picks up 2, and this might just be another break coming in from Intense, and it is.
Yes, another break. More importantly, they also got the spawn for the next hill. It's still 40 seconds, it's still quite early, but it's always good to have that spawn. Now we're just seeing gunfights around the hill, trying to see who's going to break it. Scythe gets a huge 2-piece. The hill is being contested, and it should be cleared shortly, but not for long. Yeah, still have 3 players from Hi5 trying to contest and push in.
Yeah, it's all up to Magix there to get that last 20 seconds. And these scrap times are starting to add up for Intense, as Hi5 is just capitalizing on them at the moment. Sights falls as well. But the big rotation yet again is going to come in with Fusions going to be meeting Enigma. Enigma comes out top with the PPSH. That looked like an AR shot to me, didn't miss a bullet. But player number 5 is loyal. He's going to come from the side, going to look to get some kills right at the back here, being Vitals. But Vitals says, no, buddy, not this time, as they retain the spawn for now. But look where Hi5 is spawning. That Bell very close to the hill.
Yes, a very clear 4 down, 4 intense, but they did manage to make Hi5 spawn at Bell. Vitals and Magics realized it though, and they just got 3 kills, which is, well, it's going to force Rage to stay there and wait for his teammates. He can't actually do that because Fusion just takes him out, which means that full hill control goes for Intense, but that was very risky. That rotation was 2 gunfights away from being Hi5's, and that would have not closed the gap, but opened it actually towards Hi5's favor.
Yeah, well, I'm going to stick on board with Intense Magics just to see what it does with his glide bomb, if he does invest it at this last hill of this rotation. See if he can maybe pick up Enigma with his bar. No, he does yet again not, as Enigma doesn't miss shots with that black and white PPSH. Score still only 15-point difference. It's looking good at the moment. But Intense still needs to fight back, as a glide bomb is now used by Intense, and that might be a waste, I would say. They did have control, they did have players down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the right place and time to use it.
Yeah, I'd advise to save streaks for the bunker hill, at least for the rotation for the bunker hill, and not use them on East Road, because as you can see, it's a very contest heavy hill. Now, number 3 Fusions could have stayed alive there. That would have allowed Intense to get more cabin control, but they're getting it anyway because Magic just got a huge 2-piece, which means that Hi5 is still spawning back bridge, and they will try to retake cabin, but Intense is already there. They have the full rotation for the next hill. They don't have middle control though, which will cost them in the end.
Yeah, well, now they take the lead for the first, or not for the first time, but yet again in this game. And it's usually where they shine above the team from Hi5 is this first hill down at Forest. And looks like Hi5 breaks in to take control yet again and climb back into this lead. Scythe put some bullets into Vexo, can't see him yet again with the smoke strat, but Intense just breaks in like that.
Yes, Intense actually had a split spawn. Some of them were coming through cabin, and then 2 players spawned back bunker because a player from Hi5 pushed middle too much, and that allowed them to retake the hill. So if I was Hi5 to get better at this hill, I would just tell them to not push middle as much when they're trying to hold control of it, as that spawned out the players from Intense.
This is going to be huge by Scythe. He is very close to another glide bomb. He's going to get shots in with Vexo. Vexo takes him out, so that was a great, or a huge impact. Is that going to be by killing him there, as he would have been even closer to another glide bomb, and probably going to use it again here. Yes, he does. He finds 2 fusions, jumps across the hill. He needs to slay out even more. But Hi5 still standing strong. They're going to look to take the lead again in this game. But Intense all 4 down as they respawn at Bell.
Yes, they spawn at Bell. They get a 3 middle and 1 Bell setup. They can't get the kills necessary to break yet. It's a 1v1 for hill control. Number 4 against Reigns, and Reigns takes it. That means another 5 seconds of hill time for Hi5. But you want to see the rotation now, because this game is still very close, and a full 60 is more than enough to end the game.
Yes,
Sides with a huge 3.
With a huge 3-piece, just can't make it a 4th. But yeah, as we said, it was Hi5 yet again with some scrap time at that hill. They did take the lead. They're 19 points ahead. The bunker hill is being contested at the moment, and it's going to be intense to see if they can get the play out of this hill, as there's still a lot of time to work with. It's looking good. 3 down. They got spawned, so things looking bright for them. I'm just going to swap quickly through the team to see if there's any streaks available from Intense. There is not. And Hi5 just gets 3 down and they break it.
They break it straight through the front, and they get spawned. That's a very good play. As soon as they got hill control, they just pushed into the back spawn and got the kills necessary there, which means that Intense is now spawning at bridge, and they have the cutoffs perfectly
Now they need to get in there.
And now we're just waiting for kills.
Now they need to get in
They
there.
just
They
need one
need.
more kill and they win.
Here we go. They did get in, but they need to keep contesting this, as Vexo is there to get the trade and get the kill. But the game can't be won right there. It's going to go to East Road, and it's going to be intense. That needs to be flawless for them to walk away with this first W on this HP. But that's a good start, picking up 3. The Range is going to be in first hill.
Yep.
Doesn't get the kill magics, but they're going to need to stand strong, as Hi5 is now going to be breaking in from Cabin Cut.
Realistically, all it takes is one good push from Hi5 for the game to be over, so Intense has to play it perfect. They're getting all the kills necessary. Magic Set's a huge 2-piece. We want to see them get cabin control now. But we see the Hi5 just spawned at bridge, and this game, if they get these last 2 kills, is likely over.
They need to go huge. The play is still contesting. It's Vitals. He's being pushed in. Can't see anything with the smoke. But they do get the kills, and Intense is yet again going to be in there. They can't win it on this hill as well, so they're gonna have to get the rotation in, but they can't give any time away to Hi5. They jump in, they only need 1 more second, and they get the W. Close game indeed. Hi5 take it 250 to 243. What an HP, the best HP we've seen casting together, Edgar.
Indeed, it has been. It was insane. One thing that you want to point out though, both teams need to be better at A. Hi5 needs to be better at get spawns for bunker, and B, Intense needs to be better at holding spawns from bunker. We saw them get broken. I think we had 3 rotations that map, and we saw the Intense get broken from bunker, from the front and middle, 2 or 3 times. That cannot happen if you're Intense. You lost the game right there. Hi5 was just breaking you guys through the front and middle, and you couldn't get any time.
Yeah, for me, the cherry on the cake was the way Hi5 broke Intense. Intense did get some nice setups, but number one, they gave too much time away with the last couple of time, and I think it was second hill. They gave way too much scrap time away. And when Intense does get the hill, Hi5 just breaks it with comfortable ease, I would say. There was enough time for Hi5 to break in, got spawns, and if you look at the score line here with the slaying power from both teams, look at the side of Intense, and it's 39, 35, 34, and 34. They did slay out the team from Hi5 if you look at the scorecard, but look at the score as a whole, 250 to 243 to Hi5. Now Hi5 just played a better hardpoint over Intense.
They did. Those 20 seconds that Hi5 kept getting from the second hill to bunker hill are important because ultimately they got him the win. But if Intense had a good bunker hold the whole map, the game would have been much less closer. It would have been much farther apart in terms of points. Yeah. Which means that Intense just need to work on holding their setups better. And Hi5 just, well, they outplayed them for 7 points, which is not much, right?
Yes.
So what you want to see them is be more aware of when they're flipping spawns, and when they're pushing too hard, and when they're doing the right play, because they flipped spawns a bunch of times there, and that could have cost them the game.
Yeah, no, that could indeed. But that first game, very, very tight indeed. And if you've just joined us, you missed one hell of a hard point between these two teams. That is Hi5 versus Intense. First division match. Both of these teams have not suffered a loss in this leg in the first division. This is going to be either of them first L on the trot. But guys, a new feature in the stream. If you want to know the score or the map count, you can just use the exclamation MC. You'll see the map count come up, and you'll see the scores for your HP, your SNDs, and your CTFs. And I've got Beats on the ground there, on the grond, as he has it there, to change those for me. But yeah, we're going to jump into a search and destroy, and if you look at the maps, we're staying on Ardennes Forest. Now, if we look at search and destroy on Ardennes Forest, and I mentioned to you that Ardennes Forest is my favorite map, and my favorite mode is search and destroy, so it can't get any better than this. the setups of both teams. Would you see a sniper from either team being used in this on this map?
Definitely. You can use a sniper in a variety of positions here. Whether you're on offense or on defense. You can use a sniper on Bell to try and pick off somebody that goes top flat on B-bomb. Or the counter to that is you have somebody ruins with a sniper as well, just watching the cross from Bell to top flat. You can have a sniper middle on offense, just on top of the yellow barrels. You can have a sniper side bunker on offense or cabin or on defense. You can definitely use it pretty much everywhere on this map.
Yeah, they can indeed. And if we look at the defense of Ardennes Forest, we streamed in Ardennes Forest, I think yesterday or the day before in Search and Destroy. Um, would you say your preferred or the guys usually walking away with the W each round is the people on offense or defense, Edgar?
Defense. You need to have good, solid defense.
Solid defense, and you say you're running a sniper, you've got the bar. Usually you'll have a 2-2 split, or maybe one bar, one sniper, and then two PPSHs running around causing you some havoc. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how the people use their smokes, because we did see it being used in HP, and
Yep.
we'll see what happens as we get this search and destroy underway. As you saw, the maps to follow, if I bring it up there for you again, Black Tower CTF to follow after this, and then we'll end with to London Docks, and I do think it will go the distance. As you saw there, it's very, very close. But before we go any further, guys, get your predictions into the chat. I would like to see who gets closest to the prediction. And I think it was, if I just scroll up a bit, BZK Mookie says the first map would be 250 to 185 to the guys from Hi5. A bit off there, but that's the only prediction I do see. But he did say as well it's going to be a 3-1 map count to Hi5. And it's a good start from Hi5 as they walk away with a W the first map. We now wait to get this search and destroy underway. And there we go.
I'm calling it a 6-2 intense.
6-2 intense. Oh, well, if we're talking about predictions, I'm gonna give it to Hi5. I think Hi5 is the more practiced team. They did come from the ACGL finals, playing Bravado. Bravado having that pickup of carriers. So I do think Hi5 is gonna come away with this W on search and destroy. And I'm going to give them a 6-4 scoreline in this map.
Okay. Who do you want to fall off the break?
I think the guy to start off with is Scythes. Scythes did get some big 3 pieces in that previous game. Unfortunately couldn't swing the scoreline to his way, or his team's way, as they did get an L there. But I think I'm going to start off with Scythes. And if you can just spawn in for us, I think that would be great as well.
I think so. We kind of need something to spectate, you know. There we go. Thank you.
And he's running the sniper as well. Great call there by Dallas. I must
go
blow
ahead,
my
gas
own
yourself
horn.
up.
There we go. I must gas myself up. And as you said, Edgar is going to go to the Bell area and just aim down sight and rains.
There you go, the counter.
Yeah, he counters it with the sniper, being the M1903, and that's a big first blood. But look at Magic's smoke strat coming in from behind and getting the kill, and that's exactly what I said with the smoke strat. No one can read, no one can see you, and Intense is up. It's a 2v2 at the moment.
Yes, it is. It's now 1v2. In favor of Hi5. Intense doesn't have bomb, but he knows where. Magix does not have bomb, but he knows where it is. So should player number 6 Enigma, because he's sitting right on top of it. And I think they know now. They know that Magix was at B. They don't know that he's wrapping through A, however.
You can see now Magic's going through the first hill by Forest. Now going to go right around, but I think Vexo will be caught off guard. It's a 1v1, still 25 seconds to work with, but Enigma's going to push. Enigma can't find the kill, and the guys from Intense clutch up. And it all started with that smoke strat coming in from Magix, as he just goes around and kills, I think it was Reigns from behind.
Reigns, yeah, indeed. That's a good strat that you can have with if you know the other team is sniping, which they did because Reigns got first blood. You can just smoke out the B area so you can actually cross. Now we're seeing Hi5 go for a 3-1 split onto B. We see that also see that Intense only has 2 players there, but they're pushed up quite aggressively, which is good in case of Magics. Sides gets a huge 2.
Sides 3!
Oh my god.
Search and destroy. God, the man just loves his 3 pieces, and that's gonna be another round. Make that 4, all 4. No, was it all 4? No, I think he just missed
no,
that.
It was not, unfortunately.
Yeah, he just missed it. But all 4 down, and thanks to Size picking up 3. The man doesn't just get 1 or 2 kills, he just clutches up making it 3.
Indeed. Very well played by him and Magix over there on that B-bomb site. Magix, being up top flat, backed off the entire Hi5 team from pushing.
And we'll see. I'm still sticking on board with Magix. He is halfway to his streak. If I check sites, he's halfway as well. So a good start from Intense as they get another first blood, being in the form of Fusions picking up Enigma. Smoke strat coming in yet again. Players just shooting anything. But yet again it's up to Vexo Flexo to make this difference. And Intense is playing a flawless search and destroy right now.
Yes, they are. They're getting all the kills necessary. They just gotta... Only one of them died this round. Very well played. As soon as they throw the smoke, Hi5 does not know what they're doing, and they have no way to counter that. The only thing that they know is that Intense is pushing through it. Okay, but how? There's so many directions that you can go there. You can just lay down behind the smoke. You can sit in a corner waiting for them to pass. It's just, there's no way that Hi5 can counter that at the moment. 3-0 lead for Intense.
Yeah, and we can see it's 3 players from the guys from Intense that's currently on streaks. Magix is on a 4 streak, so is Scythe and Fusions with 3, but yet again a first blood coming in from Hi5. Hi5 just needs to capitalize on them for like a change, because they're just falling apart. And as I say,
yes,
that they
was
pick up
3v2, now a 3v1. Very well played. We see Fusions on a 1v1, he can't win that against a machine pistol player on fire tank, which means that Hi5 will finally get their first round on the board. Maybe a little bit too aggressive from the players on Intense over on that B side of the map. They didn't get first blood, so they shouldn't really challenge that, in my opinion. That is just an opinion though, you can actually make that play, and if it works out for you, you're doing it correctly.
Well, if we can remember yesterday, Edgar, it was White Rabbit versus 50 Cent in Search and Destroy on London Docks, and 50 Cent was 4-1 up, I think, in Search and Destroy, and then they just lost full. They pushed things that they shouldn't push. They changed their game plan, and well, let's hope Intense doesn't do the same thing. They did start great. Smoke strat coming in yet again, and it's Intense switching things up as Fusions now furthest pushed up, and it does get killed. That's 2 down from Hi5, make that 3, all up to Enigma, and finds 1. But
gets 2, can't get the other one.
Yeah, no, Hi5, Intense is playing that good on a Search and Destroy that Hi5 just doesn't stand a chance at the moment.
Indeed, they're singling out an area and they're 3-hitting it all the time using a smoke grenade, which, well, doesn't allow Hi5 players to see them, right? And then they get into, in this round for example, they got into cabin. They got the kills necessary to get there, and all they had to do was to plant, even if they were in a 3v2 situation. And they just, after that, they just get the kills, because the I5 players have to rotate back to A to check if the bomb's being planted.
Yeah, and it's a big thing to mention that Bravado Lithium is the coach of Intense, and that's probably why you see such a good Search and Destroy at the moment with the smoke strat and such. It's a 2v2 currently, now a 1v2 with Intense being in the man disadvantage. Vitals just sitting circle, going to see Reigns, does get the kill. It's a 1v1 Enigma and a Vitals as Enigma now plants.
Indeed, 1v1 situation. We see Vitals is going through cabin cut P4 at the moment. Will we push ramp? Yes, you will. Enigma just holding a corner, sitting pretty, holding a corner here on cabin, looking at pretty Chandelier. But shots fired from Vitals. He spotted him.
Let's see if Enigma can clutch up. And it is Vitals that's going to come all the way around yet again. They might just
Oh god.
get some timing on each other. And Vitals comes out on top. That's another round for Intense. 5-1 up. And if I bring up the scorecards, we can see everyone is full barring but the guy that just clutches. And that's Vitals.
Indeed, a good 1v1, a little bit of luck on his side, or maybe perhaps he heard him. Perhaps he heard Enigma. I think that was actually the case. Well played. A nice 1v2 clutch from Vitals. He wasn't doing too well at the start of this map, but he certainly turned up now.
Indeed so, and I'm going to jump on board with Reigns, see what he can do with his PPSH as he throws a stun and a nade over. Yet again some smoke coming in. Hi5's being the aggressor, player number 1. Magic now does fall, and it is Vitals that gets the kill. 2v2 yet again, Fusions and Vitals versus Loyal and Enigma.
Enigma gets a huge kill, and well, Hi5 win all their 1v1s on that round, and that's how they won the round. You had them do a very aggressive push through B towards middle after they pushed B, and that surprised the players on Intense.
Indeed, and we'll see if they can maybe close this deficit, but they've got a big mountain to climb. The only positive they can maybe as is Intense streaks.
Indeed. Let's see what Hi5 is doing now. They're pushing. Just a good setup from Intense, I would say. We have an Intense player, that's Magic. He's actually very pushed up. Just holding it, and again, it seems like Intense has them back into a corner here in Bell. Kills were coming around cabin for somebody that was flanking, and it's now 1v3 for Loyal. Let's see if he can clutch just for the map.
This is going to be one hell of a clutch just to keep their chances alive in the search and destroy. Sights does get the kill, and his prediction is like very close to being right there, Edgar.
I did say 6-2. I'm happy.
That was a brilliant search and destroy played by Intense, and it's not because of Hi5 just playing it like badly. It's just Intense playing the search and destroy to their strengths.
Indeed. They made the plays. They made the plays with the smokes. They were aggressive. They took control of the map. And there's not much that you can do when you have everyone on Intense being on the same page. Trades were happening in like a second. They just played good S&D, and the strats that they were using were better, and Hi5 couldn't counter them.
Hi5 indeed couldn't counter them. So that ties things up at the moment, being a 1 apiece in a map count. We're going to start straight away. He needs to change the map, or the map and the game mode. There we go. And if I bring up the maps for you guys, we can see now we're going to see a flag tower CTF. And Edgar, we've seen flag tower being played quite a bit by the Premier Division teams, and it's usually very close.
It is. It's the second map with the most captures. You usually see more captures on London Docks, especially when the swaying power is uneven. But this map, if we're going to take anything from the hard point, it's that this map is going to be close because the swaying power of Intense and Hi5 is almost evenly matched. Now, it will depend on mostly their communication, each team's communication, and each team's decision-making ability on whether they're going to win or lose.
Well, that is...
Who do you want to start with?
It's indeed going to be so. I'm going to start with Loyal, just to see what he can bring to the Hi5 army, to see if he can pick his game up. And I'm just thinking now, I did not see Lithium spawn in on the side of Intense in that search and destroy. It was a codcaster, and I wonder now if Hi5 maybe had a problem because of that, and that's probably gonna go through their mind, saying maybe he gave them some call outs or helped them a bit. But that is over now, and it's gonna be 3 people from Intense pushing to wood.
Yes, but Hi5 this time have learned. They're holding their positions. They will find their trades, or sides just turn on range. Wow. Wow.
He's lucky I did not see that. He's lucky.
Magic's pushed up to their base. He could be a 1v1 with Royal, but they don't realize that he's here. Hi5 does not know that Magic's is here in their base. Will we try and pull, or is just playing it sneaky? We see gunfights going on over in middle. Hi5 is winning those. They will have control towards Intense's base, which means that Magix will probably be pulling this flag soon. Does Vexel realize? Vexel does not realize there's somebody in their base, even though he spawned out.
You should have realized that. And neither does Loyal, so I don't know if the comms isn't right coming in from Hi5. If you spawned at this flag tower on the left hand side, you would know that someone's in your base, and yeah, just a bad plays coming in from Hi5.
Learn from Magix, be patient. Now Hi5 has pushed up into Intense's base, but Intense cleared it out. It's just a 1v1 on the map. Now everyone from Intense is spawning in, and the map is basically reset. The few players that are alive from Intense, now it's everyone. From all 8 players are alive. They want to get some map control. You need to find some kills. You see that Hi5 is currently trying to push through wood, and they're doing it as fast as possible, which is a good thing. Will they find the kills that they need though? Trades going on. They don't have control yet. Enable with a huge 2-piece. But Fusion is right back.
Yeah, Fusions is definitely that difference maker at the moment in this series. We saw some brilliant 2 and 3 pieces coming in HP, even in the search and destroy, as he's now going to go to Flag Tower Center as he gets taken out. But as of yet, it is a stalemate, but Intense had a good start to the map.
Indeed, they're up 1-0. They keep putting on the aggression. And at the moment, well, Hi5 is pushing their base, but they're going to get cleared out because they push from 2 different angles, which means that Intense players spawn at the back of their base. Hi5 still has the advantage for now because they're on offense. They're just trying to push up as much as they can, but the kills go in favor of Intense, which means that the map is reset and they're still fighting for map control.
Still fighting indeed, as players now go down from either side. Vitals and Enigma are going to spawn back up, and it's going to be Intense on the offense at the moment. Now going back to the defense, as the players now going to be respawning. Play number 2, if I jump on board with Magix, they do know he's here. As you can see, Reigns was just aiming down side, going to throw a nade over, does not connect. But Enigma is probably going to pick up Magix, and he does.
Yes, he does. We see Hi5 currently trying to push out of their base. They're going to need a few more kills. That's a good start from Reigns. Fusion kills Enigma with a nade. And now Hi5 is just trying to go full offense, trying to push in and get their kills. They have. It's now a 2v2 for base control. And Magix gets that huge 2-piece again. Very well played from him.
Now the kills from Intense is coming in 2 and 3 pieces. It's not solo picks the whole time, and they do feed off each other. They do get trades quite comfortably, and that's why they are 1-0 up with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in this first half, and it's going to be yet again Intense being on the offense.
Indeed they will. They're trying to get some map control, trying to get some kills to push up into Hi5's base. Magic's on the flank, gets one. The flag has been pulled from Reigns on the other side of the map though, and Vitals was just cleaned out, which means that Magix will... Yeah, they should know. They do know. They do know.
Yeah, Hi5 should know that Magix is at the back here, because he did get a kill. He picks up one. He's going to need to do some magic.
Right.
As his sights is still there. He picks up one, picks up 2, but that's not going to be enough as a flag capture comes in with 30 seconds left in the first half. But a good play from Hi5 coming in there in the late stages of this first half.
I need a good play. Reigns scored, actually got a huge kill when he was coming out of the underground area. And that allowed him to carry the flag back to his base. And then they had numbers in the base, which means that Hi5 was just able to trade their kills, even though sides got a 2-piece. Hi5 was just able to trade that and get the flag in. We're going into the second round even.
Yeah, indeed, we are. It's Hi5 probably kicking themselves at the moment because they gave that one cap away to Intense, and they should have realized there's someone at the back spawn, as they did spawn close to mid map. So they should have known that, and unfortunately can't fix their woes as they now go into the second half being one apiece. And yet again, we've got a tight match on our hands here, Edgar.
We do, it's very close. The swaying numbers aren't actually that close. Well, you have players that are going off and you have players that are struggling and underperforming at the moment. But what that does is, you just need to, if one of these players, either Reigns or Sights, starts turning up, then the game can easily go in favor of their team. And that's what you want to see from this half.
We can see Fusions coming from outskirts from Wood and does not get any kills. That's 3 down now from Intense. So a good hold coming in from Hi5. They just need to capitalize on this and push up now.
Yes, you would have liked Rhinos to play sneaky again because they didn't realize that he was there, but oh well, he took the gunfight. That allows Hi5 to just, well, Hi5 now have to wait. That allows Intense to get some time to spawn in, and it seems like Intense, some of them went on the elite to go for a flank. But Hi5 pulled the flag. It's now 1v1 for flag control. Vexo versus number 4. I don't think he realizes that he's there. Nope. They're choosing to go middle. Intense is choosing to go middle.
Yeah, Intense does read that. Player number 7, Reigns. He needs to go huge as he's going to be met by a lot of Intense players, and they do get the return. So yet again another hold, but look at Sides. He's pushed up. He's going to run the flag out, and it's going to be up to Hi5 to stop him. Being player number 5 is loyal, and he needs to play a big role to stop this. And this is going to be a certain cap, as we can see Loyal just dying there, and Sides going to get this bomb in, or this flag in instead, as they now take the lead.
From the cap, from the moment the sides touched the flag, Intense just went on God mode. They won, Vitals won the gunfight from the guy that was chasing sites, the flag carrier. And then the rest of his teammates won the gunfights on middle and on wood, watching the overextension. That was perfect CTF play right there. That allowed them to get their cap.
Well, look, yet again, Reigns is playing sneaky. But Intense has the flag in hand, and it's going to be Reigns pulling it to Wood. Player number 6 is Enigma, his teammate, so he's going to get some help in, and this is going to be a stalemate, it looks like, as the Reigns is just going to sit mid-map. And now my guess is, why do you sit mid with a flag? Like,
because they know that numbers, they might know that Sights is in their base.
Oh, they do know.
Does he?
Don't know. I think it's
they might know. They might know. Either way, gunfights are coming in on Intense's base. Magix gets a good kill.
Oh,
now
Reigns.
Reigns also gets a kill on his own base, which means that the wrap is just reset. Vitals going to be in a 2v1 situation against number 8, Vexo had switched to him. Now the whole team from Intense just spawned in, which means that, well, Vexo's dead. And Intense can finally start to get some map control and push Hi5's base.
We'll see now what they can do, as they last one alive is Reigns by Vexoflexo now spawning up, and this is going to be a big hold now for Hi5. If they can do this, they well, they stand strong to get this to a stalemate, but Hi5 needs to get that player down. Intense just needs to realize we're not the guys that needs to push up. We just defend our flag. We've got a minute and a half to work with. We're in the lead. Let's not do anything risky, and they get the return. And the flag is captured for Hi5 as I say that.
Let's follow Enigma number 6. You can try to pull the flag, will we? No, we cannot get away. Still a 2-2. But you see the Hi5 as players pushed up further up the map, and now Intense is just trying to hold on for dear sake and get control of their own base.
Yeah, they do try, and 2 players fall from Hi5, make that 3. So it's Intense yet again that's going to be pushing up. Enigma gets a big kill just to stop some of the players from Intense to push up. But if we jump on board with Size, he's on the outskirts from Wood, puts some bullets down, and Vexo is probably going to pick up the skill here. Yes, he does. So another defense held there by Hi5.
Yes, we're seeing decent defense out through both of the teams. And you're seeing a lot of people sneaking though, which is a bad sign. You need to be watching all of those lanes, especially if you're in a stalemate situation. Now it's 30 seconds almost towards the end of the round, and I think this map is not going anywhere. I think we're going to go into overtime 2-2, unless Bios does a god play here. It's a 1v3 for flag control.
I think they know Vitals is this corner. Vexo Flexo playing that sneaky corner to his right. Smoke comes in. I don't think this is going to matter too much. And we're going to see extra time in this flag tower CTF as Vexo Flexo picks up all the players from Intense to end that game right there. Extra time we're going to see.
Yes, we're going to overtime. The only way that Intense could have won that after they got the after they lost the stalemate situation was if Vitals did play with a smoke there, but it was a 1v3 situation at the moment. So he could have taken his chances, but he didn't, and I respect that.
Oh, what's the one thing that these teams doing wrong to maybe get the upper hand over the other team, Edgar?
Well, they're letting players sneak in way too easily. Hi5 lost their first flag by letting Magic sneak through their base, and Intense in the stalemate situation when they were up 2-1 did the same. Loyal snuck in through the left side of the map, and that allowed them to get the kill and the return.
Kill and return indeed, as Intense Magic just puts some bullets in, injures some of the players from Hi5. The flag is in Enigma's hand, and he's going to run right through mid, but he might get shot down. Yes, he does. Intense comes out up clutch just to get the flag back, but
wow.
Look at Loyal. Loyal has the flag in hand, and this is going to be a capture.
1 minute. 1 minute cap. 55 seconds to be more precise is the time that Intense has. What a turnaround of events it has been.
Big turnaround, and we'll see now if Intense can bounce back. As we mentioned, they've got just under a minute to do so. There's going to be need to be a flawless push straight off the back, as they're going to be sending two wood, one through mid, and then one guy going to the flag on the left hand side. But one goes down from either side, and this might just be it. 3 now, the flag is pulled, Fusions gets taken out. This is going to be one hell of a game as it gets stopped in the meanwhile. Play number 2 is side, he needs to go huge, and that is going to be it. Probably 20 seconds to do this as the players respawn from Intense, and this is Hi5 CTF.
This is Hi5 CTF, very close CTF. They need to watch this over and see what kind of mistakes they did. I'd say the same for Intense, because this game was in their hands. They hold that stalemate situation and they win that game easily.
Yeah, a great extra time or overtime there by Hi5, just capitalizing on that with a minute. So it was very difficult for Intense to bounce back. But Hi5 now take the map count 2-1, and if you don't know, if you've just joined us, the HP score did go, or the HP did go to the guys from Hi5, 250 over to 143. And then the search and destroy was one-sided to Intense on Ardennes Forest. Search and destroy 6 to Intense, and then we just saw this insanely contested CTF where Hi5 walk away 3 to Victors, as we now go into a hard point on London Docks, and this is going to be one hell of a sleigh fest. What sleigh fest? There we go. Now my English is working.
Sleigh fest.
Yeah,
yes.
sleigh fest from both sides, I would say.
Indeed. On this hard point, what you want to see is usually the more aggressive team wins, but also the team that gets into position and gets a good setup going better wins. So you want to see, well, the mid hill, the first hill, is really going to be contested. I don't expect any of these teams to have very good holds on that hill, but second hill and third hill need to be money hills. You can't just be splitting time and getting broken and breaking back all the time. You need to be able to hold a setup. First get the setup and then hold it.
Well, we'll quickly
Who do you
see.
want to follow?
Okay, we'll quickly jump through the guys from Hi5 to see what they're running. Vexo with the bar, we've got Reigns with an STG, Enigma with the PPSH, and so is Loyal. So they got a 2-2 split, and the big guys gonna be the AOs on this map for me if they can hold down the areas. And another big thing, as I mentioned, Bravado Lithium being the coach of Intense, and the Bravado is probably the best team in holding that first hill on Statue. So we'll see maybe if they can repeat what Bravado does.
Indeed, they will have a few more seconds of build time. Intense is currently trying to break in, but kills are being traded effectively by Hi5. Nobody's in the hill at the moment. They're just fighting for water side control, which is what they need to be doing. And they're winning all of those gunfights.
The Hi5 starting off strong. They're not giving anything away at the moment to Intense, as Fusions now tries to break through, but it's still Hi5 set in stone in that first hill at Statue. And it's all going to come down now to rotation. Intense needs to bounce back and keep this whole second hill.
They need to. They know that number 7, Reigns, is in fire, but number 3, Sides will be having to hold off a lot of players, and that doesn't work out in his favor. Still, Intense is currently trying to hold the back spawn, but they spawned out. They spawned by underground, and there's going to be a pinch on the hill. Not anymore, because the player at the back spawn was just deleted by Reigns there.
Reigns doing a good job so far. He's close to his glide bomb, so he must not die. He gets stunned. He's not running armored, so stun still affect him. He's going to pick up one player, does find his glide bomb. That's huge. Will be all streaked out. The guy is yet to die in this hard point.
Indeed, he actually does not have bullets in his STG. He's going to challenge and die to fusions. But look at the rotation. Hi5 has it.
Yeah.
The score is now flipped.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
because it was a very good hold from Intense.
The funny thing is, Loyal doesn't have a kill and Reigns didn't have a death, but Loyal's still looking for his first kill, as Reigns did get his first death. But Intense did look quite good at that second hill, and it's going to be up to Intense now to break this as well. If I jump on board with the Intense fusions, trying to kill Flexo at the back here.
He's not able to make it, and Hi5 just clean out the whole side of Intense. And now you want to see the Intense players wait for each other before they push. You don't want to see them go one by one through spawns or to the hill, because that just makes it an easy 1v1 to win for the side of Hi5, and that's currently what Intense is doing. Which means that, well, Hi5 just tied the score and just passed Intense, simply because they got 2 good holds. Just like what Intense did in the previous hardpoint.
Yeah, for sure. It's the first hill, it was held by Hi5, second hill held by Intense, and the third hill at Docks was held by Hi5. So a good hold from Hi5. The only thing you could take away if you're Intense is you did get spawns, but look now where they spawned though. Intense spawning all the way out at the red bus as streaks being invested by Hi5, and they're going to get this hill with Intense sights flanking all the way down to Subway.
That's a clever streak used by Reigns, but now as we focus on the break from Intense, Vexo just pushed 2 important kills at the back. Enigma gets the last one. That's 20 more seconds to Hi5. They're just currently holding their setup much better than Intense is doing. Intense didn't rotate early, and well, Hi5 is punishing them for that.
There's
Maybe not as much now that Enigma's lagged out.
Yeah, there's a timeout, and unfortunately it's an online tournament or online league, so it's stuff that we can't control with either Telkom or Eskom switching off your power, but it is Hi5 in the disadvantage, and Intense is going to need to now capitalize on this with the man advantage, and if they can build a good lead before the player from Hi5 and Enigma joining back, then they might take this.
Well, so far they're going to get at least 20 seconds off of this hill, because they got the kills on rotations. We'll see if they can hold us. It's a 3v4 situation. Streaks are coming in from Reigns. Finds one. Vitals finds one. Magix also gets one. And Enigma has just spawned in.
Yeah, Enigma is back and didn't discount too much, as Hi5 did stand strong and they at least had streaks coming in from Reigns. So now they get back into the swing of things. Intense is going to look to take the lead again in this hard point, as it's going to be swapping now to the first rotate or the second rotation of this hard point, going back to statue. And we can see Hi5 is set up.
Indeed, I5 is set up. Number 4 Fusions will try to spoil them. Enigma just gets 2 huge kills there to cement that rotation. But we see that Intense is currently spawning at Useless, or back Useless or backfire, and they need to group up together if they want to retake the hill. You don't want to see them fight too many 1v1 gunfights.
Yeah, indeed you don't. Loyal finds one, going to find a second and get in the hill, but the crossfire coming in from gate, and we can see Enigma still lagging quite a bit there, as we stay on board with him just to see if everything's fine from his side. But the spawns is in Intense side as well, as they regain this lead.
Indeed, they now have control of the hill, they have control of spawns. We're going to see player number 5, Loyal, the furthest pushed up on his team to that second hill, fighting against 2 players from Intense. Streaks are being called in. That's the last of range streaks, I think, the artillery. They're put to good use, and now Loyal's currently pushing up to the back spawn, trying to hold it. But they will need help. He will need help. Finds a kill on sights. That's a good start, but his team is currently spawning out. Loyal needs to stay alive here.
Oh, Loyal unfortunately just getting over eager and couldn't get that kill there, as Intense just capitalizes on that fault at the back, and they in hill, racking up time. No one in hill currently, as Intense now jumps over. 2 kills go to the way to the Hi5, make that 3. Loyal is starting to heat up. He's 17 and 17 on a 3 streak, looking to build to his score streaks. And if you're Intense now, do you just give up this last 20 seconds and get set up for lower docks?
Definitely, you want to see that setup going 5 seconds ago. You don't want to see it now, because that gives Hi5 a chance to still break it. Now, Hi5 were also a bit late in the rotation, which means that Intense will get it. But for future reference, you want to be rotated 10 seconds out, because the other team's also going to rotate from the second hill, and they have control of it, right? Which means that they're probably going through crane, and if you can get a player set up on the window, looking at fire and crane, that's a major win. That equals about 10 seconds of hill time for your team just by holding that position.
Yeah, we'll see now if Loyal can get in and take out Magic's at the lower docks area, and yes, he does. Sights is going to look to trade that, and he does indeed. So a good hold so far. Look at the scoreline, it's all equal, 164 to 164, as Sights isn't contesting at the moment. I was wondering why is he not contesting, looking for the kills probably. But the best setup for him now is just to sit in and contest, as Hi5 now takes the lead yet again, and it just swapping hands the whole time, as it's going to be Intense setup for next. And if they can walk away with let's say about 50 points here, they're looking good to take this match.
Indeed, they want to get these kills up here at the back. Flexo cannot stay alive for too long. He finds a kill in hill. We'll get traded out. Okay, that's good. That means that...
But look where they're spawning. Split. Oh
yes,
my...
they spawned at the back. They spawned under.
That spawn was incredible from
That should not have happened.
Oh
that should not have happened. Vitals with a huge 2-piece to turn it back, and he gets a 3.
He needs 3. Can't find it, as Hi5 is in the hill, but that was really unfortunate. Spawns coming in there from Intense, a team kill coming in from Loyal, but that was a bizarre spawn.
Yes, his teammates were middle. They were in no way blocking the spawn for Hi5, and well, they ended up spawning there. That's just unfortunate. But now as we're looking towards the rotation, the score is practically even, and we're looking at 4 Hi5 players against 1 guy at the back, which is Vitals. Can he stay alive?
It might just come down to this. Cranial is in Hi5 is in control of it, and if Hi5 takes his HP here, they take the series 3-1, and Intense definitely does not want that scoreline, as they're going to be pushing in, and 3 goes down from Hi5. So a good push, and it's Intense yet again that breaks Hi5 to get control over the hill.
Indeed they do, and they're now pushing out all the lanes, which is good. Royal is the only guy here at the back that can make a difference for Hi5, but he will get shut down by Vitals. And now you want to see the players from Hi5 rotate. Don't give intense streaks. But they're still pushing this back here. Intense is Sights is the one in the hill, just chilling. You have player number 8, Vexel. Tried to break in, couldn't do it. Sight shuts him down. Now look at your minimap. Who's better set up for the hill? For the first hill again. It is Intense. Because Hi5 chose not to rotate.
And that just might bite them in the rear as Intense is building. They're 10 seconds away from taking this to a map 5, and it's all we wanted to see for the last week is a map 5, but it's Hi5 yet again in control. They can still walk away with this W. It's not all over, and it's going to be Intense looking to get in there yet again. Vitals picking up too, and that is game. We're going to see a map 5 between Intense and Hi5.
I've been waiting for this for weeks. I am now happy. My predictions came through. Thank you, COD God, thank you. But yeah, if Hi5 chose to rotate towards the first hill and get control of fire and water earlier, instead of having 2 players go for the old hill, they probably would have won that map there.
Well, we must just remember that Enigma did have a timeout. It probably cost Hi5 a bit, but I wouldn't say, what, 43 points? So, oh no, 33 points, sorry. So, yeah, yep. It's one of those things, but it's going to a map 5, and that's exactly what we wanted. We couldn't see a map 5 in Premier Division, and this first division match is probably the best match we've streamed this this last week, Edgar.
Indeed, it's the best map we've seen so far, and I want the round 11 now. Can we please get a round 11?
We'll see what happens. Get into this chat, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is going to walk away with this W? Yeah, I'm just reminding you, none of these teams playing here has gotten an L in this third leg of the VS Gaming First Division. So someone's going to walk away with their first L, or the first loss, if you put it that way. And this is going to be one hell of a game. Game 5. On London Docks. Who do you want to start off with, Edgar?
Let me cycle through all the players. I want to start with a sniper if there is one. Doesn't seem to be one for the side of Hi5. Let's just stick with Royal here. He's running a PPSH. Let's see what he can do with it mounted on it, which probably means that he won't be pushing anything too hard or too fast. Let's see what these teams do in this breakout. Hi5 sends 1 middle and 2 towards A. From the side of Intense, it seems to be a 3 push A. Sights actually is sniping, gets the first blood. That means they control 4 Intense.
And we always say that the first blood is always so crucial. And if anything is like that first search and destroy that we saw, it would be Intense walking away with the W. But player number 3 is Sights. He's gonna be shutting. No, he does not shut down the player from Hi5 being range. It is a 1v1 Enigma versus Magix. Who's gonna get round number 1? The bomb is planted to. Oh my goodness!
Oh, nice shot.
Some beautiful shots coming in there from Magix, with some beautiful hipfire as well.
Indeed, that hipfire was. I wish my PPSH had hipfire like that. I'd be winning every tournament.
Yeah, who needs to aim down sight?
Exactly. Anyway, good round for Intense. They got the first blood and they also got the A plant. Magix is 3-0. Let's stick with him.
Well, if we can look back at that odd and as far as search and destroy, the first search and destroy that these teams played, it was usually Hi5 picking up the first blood, and then Intense just capitalizing on that. And look at Magix, he's going all the way around. He's going to find 3 yet again on a 6 streak, only 100 points away from getting his glide bomb, and he's going to go all the way around for the flank. If we jump on range, we'll see if he can maybe just clutch a 1v3.
Gets 1, can't get a second one.
Magix.
Let's follow Magix through, because he made a great play. I don't know if they double naded Cole.
Yeah, they did.
For him to get that kill. Okay, cool. That's a very good play. And as soon as that happens, he gets that kill. He knows there's nobody Cole. He just pushes straight through the B bomb site and looks at lights because he knows that Hi5 is currently pushing B. Nice heads up play. He's one off a glide bomb.
That's all now to Magic's. And if you're in Magic's position, would you do anything differently just to play for your streaks, Edgar?
I definitely play a little bit slower, but depending on the team strat, I might just do the same thing. But we see Intense gets first blood again, gets immediately traded by Enigma. They're fighting for A control. Magix is trying to put the bomb down. Vital's giving him good cover. Oh, actually also gets a kill, which is important. And now he has a glide bomb. 2v2 situation. Side snipes his own teammate. Video.
3, 2, 1 guy on the bomb. Range is gonna take care of him, and yes, he does, with some body shots coming in. And that's the first round to Hi5. Enigma, you could see they're lagging quite a bit. But Intense almost catching up. The big takeaway from that round is Magic's getting his glide bomb.
Yes, he gets his glide bomb, but he misses out on his other streaks. Well, that's a good and a bad thing for Hi5, because obviously he still has a glide bomb, but you stop the full barrage of streaks from coming. Now, Hi5 is doing exactly what Intense did, going A, putting the smoke down. They still get first blooded.
Play number 2, Magic's coming in with the flank, is not read by Hi5, shooting down. Magic's isn't missing, picks up 2, and that's another round to Intense. And Hi5 has no answer at the moment, and Magic's is the guy that he's just Usain Bolt sprinting down the map and coming from behind and killing Hi5.
Can we just call Magic's the South African Zuma? Always eating the flank. Very well played from him. He's 8-0. Technically 8-1 because his own teammate shot him, unfortunately. That's what took him off of streaks. Another round towards Intense. Let's see what they do off of this on defense.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. As another
on
smoke,
offense, my bad.
Another smoke coming in. Vexo Flexo is the only one at A that can maybe stop the guys from Intense, as he's going to get naded quite a bit. Shot's gonna come down. They can't pick him up, as the bomb's now going to be planted by Magic's. He needs some cover. Vexo with that bar takes him off it. And a scythe is going to come from behind.
Round is over. Wait, Vitals is still alive. Hold on. My bad. In a 1v4 situation, but this round should be over. Gets one. Sees
There's
two
no
players.
way.
Tags one of them up.
There's no way.
That's the second guy.
Yeah,
It's
I just wanted to say, if there's some miracle he gets out there to clutch a 1v4, they definitely deserve to win this game. But it is going to be only one round in it, going to round number 5. Intense still with the 1 round lead and has the glide bomb to work with. But we'll see what they can do on the offense, on the defense.
Yep, we're following Flexo at the moment. He has a bar out. Let's see what Hi5 does off the break off. They seem to be going A again. Intense has 2 players ready for that. Player number 3 actually pushed up. Sides gets the first blood, gets traded.
And it's yet
That
again
means A control
Magic's.
for Hi5.
It's yet again Magic's is the guy. He is just running right at the moment. Enigma fall off the map or something.
I think he fell off the map, yes.
to do that on a map 5. To do that on a map 5. It's Clayster things.
Indeed. But again, Intense get a round win. They're up 4-2 now.
They just need to stop Magic's. It starts and ends with Magic's. We can see
Indeed.
Scythes is 2 and 6. Fusions is +1, and Vitals is going neutral. It's just Magic's is 9 and 1, and they let him just run wherever he likes.
Yes, he's getting a full lane to run through almost every round. And that's just that's biting Hi5. That's stopping them from getting round wins.
Well, if
Ryan gets the first one.
Yeah, if I'm Intense Magic's right now, I'm using my glide bomb just to make sure middle gets cleared, because then they can get the bomb down. But it's 2 down from Hi5. They've got the man advantage. Now, yeah, I'll probably not use it. Get out with his life. And if we jump on board with Reigns, Reigns is going to come from behind. Gets one, but gets a trade in. And it's all up to Loyal.
Wario in a 1v2. Let's see what he can do. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. 3-round lead for Intense. They're one round away from taking the series.
1 round indeed. 1 round from handing Hi5 their first loss in this third leg of the first division. I don't think it would matter too much, as I think both these teams will be promoted to the Prem division, pardon me. But Intense wants to walk away with it. Their Search and Destroy is by far their best game mode, and it looks like they might just end it here, as Magic still has the glide bomb to work with.
It looks that way. Hi5 is doing the same thing again, just trying to push A. And this time, Intense is ready for it. Trade's coming in. 1v3 for Vex. Glide bomb is coming in. They know
It's over.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't?
They don't. He's ready. He's using Mountain. This would be a miracle, but it's possible. They know the bomb's down, though. Intense knows that the bomb is down.
Well, he's gonna have to pull off some miracle to keep his hopes alive, his team's hope alive in this match. He's going lower docks, looking to pick up one of the players from Intense just to close.
Side's just turned around.
Oh yeah, he sees him. He does get the kill, and that is game. Intense walk away with the W on a map 5-6-2, I think it was. Oh, I think it is.
Yes, 6-2.
And that's exactly the same scoreline it was in Ardennes Forest Search and Destroy.
Indeed. Intense with a good win over there. The two S&Ds helped them massively. I mean, when you go to a game 5, obviously you have to win the S&D to win the series, but their first S&D was very... I wouldn't say it wasn't important, but the way that they got the win was... It was deciding. It was a shift in the series. They lost the hard point, so they had to win the S&D there, and they did it. 6-2 in a very convincing way. And then, well, the rest of the series played on, and we come into this map 5, and we just see that Intense has the superior strategies in S&D. Hi5 was hitting practically every offense.
And S&D does win you championships and matches. And that's exactly what Intense has proven there. It's always Optics Campi in interviews saying, if we can win our Search and Destroys, we're taking every single match. And that's exactly what Intense just did. They're taking their Search and Destroy by a convincing way. Magic's 9-2, the guy that's just running riot in a Search and Destroy. Well done. GG's to Intense. Hi5 suffering their first loss in the third leg of First Division. But as I mentioned, I don't think it has too much difference in the league, as they will be promoted to the Premier Division. Still a couple of rounds left. I don't think these teams would lose their following matches, but this was one hell of a game. Definitely the best game of the week, and coming from the First Division.
Yes, it was. It was the best game of the week. The teams were evenly matched except in S&D. The S&D maps were not close, but other than that, the CTF was close. It went into overtime. Both the hard points were close. And that's what you want to see when you're casting. You want to see close maps, exciting maps, players getting 3 pieces, 2 pieces everywhere. That's what you want to see as a caster, and as a viewer. But when you're playing the game, that's different. Both the teams need to work on a few things. And if they do that, they will surely be good contenders for the premium division.
Now, for sure. Now, quickly run you through the scorelines here. Ardennes Forest, we started off on hard point, and that went to the guys from Hi5. Very close game again, 250 over 243. Then we saw an Ardennes Forest Search and Destroy where Intense walked away with a 6-2 scoreline. We saw in Flak Tower that went to overtime, where Hi5 capitalized in a minute, or just under a minute in overtime, and they took that game there. And then we saw a London Docks hard point, where it was Intense walking away 250 over 217, and we saw a crazy Search and Destroy yet again by Intense, taking it 6-2. Intense the better team on the day, and their search and destroyers really look top notch. I think they can take a search and destroy off the top teams if it looks this way. But GG's to them. Thanks again, Edgar. Thanks to all of you in the stream. I think we reached up to 35 viewers. I do appreciate all of you guys in here. Was one hell of a game, and I'll check you guys next time. I will be hosting the Call of Duty game right now, so stick around and you can go watch. I think it is Optic versus United, a very great or very good game. But Edgar, thanks again to you.
Thank you for letting me be here and letting me cast. It's always great fun, especially this match. Finally got my wish.
Finally got your wish. Indeed. Guys, thank you very much. I'll check you next time, but for now, cheers.